Welcome back to the Creatively Challenged podcast for Monday, March 28th. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Nolan, and I'm here alongside Dan Stewart. How are you?
I'm all right. Rye.
Yeah.
We're in your basement back at home. We're on spring break. Although it's like 40 degrees out. So it's not really spring.
Yeah, we're not
I guess
having
it's
like the
spring.
cool kid spring break
Yeah.
in like Fort Lauderdale or something.
No. Or snorting cocaine off of a whore's ass in like
No.
Las Vegas.
No.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
That's what Mike's doing right now. He's off in Las Vegas.
Snorting coke off a whore's ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's having a great time apparently. We haven't heard anything from him. So, Mike, please call. But how
No.
you doing good? Are you saying you're all right?
Yeah, I'm sick. I feel terrible. But well, actually no, I feel better. But like, I'm back to like eating solid food rather than just like soup and water and Gatorade. And that's all right. But I've still got some bodily function issues. I'm not throwing up, so that's good. But other areas.
Unpopular opinion. I always kind of liked being sick because it like threw a wrench in your routine because you're just sick. So then you kind of have to reset your clock and you get leveled out in a way. I kind of always enjoyed that part of being sick.
I mean, I like being at home, so my mom can take care of me. Like, that's fun. Like, I feel like a kid again. I'm just in my parents' house and my mom is taking care of me while I'm sick. But, like, it's also, like, I couldn't imagine, like, if we were back down at school and I was like this because I'd just be miserable, like, not knowing what to do and whatnot. I'd be on the phone with my mom anyway, like, seeing what I'd have to do. And then, but I also feel like lazy, like I feel like I don't want to do anything, and that's not good. Like even I've got like some papers that are due like right after spring break that I kind of have to get started on like within the next couple of days, and I don't want to do that.
Well, I mean, you got no energy now, but you're gonna have time later on in break. But those always angered me when teachers like would say, "Oh yeah, we got this thing that was coming up after this long break, so you can't take a break." Exactly. But yeah, I think you'll get better and get those done.
Besides sickness and how terrible teachers are, I've been having this thing lately where like I feel like people can hear the music that I'm listening to on my headphones.
Do you use the Apple headphones?
Yeah.
People can hear you.
Can they?
Yeah, because they're like shitty, and you always hear it because they're just like not really in your ear very well, and the sound isn't very well directed anywhere, so it just kind of plays.
No, but they can't because like I take them out of my ear, and then I can't hear them.
How loud do you have them on?
Like not loud at all. But like I just have this anxiety.
Okay.
That like people are like looking at me and listening to my music.
When you have them loud, they tend to do that. But if you don't have it very
they're
loud,
like the loudest I ever put them at in my ears is like halfway.
Oh, then definitely not.
Yeah.
No one hears that.
I know.
Okay.
Maybe people are staring at me for another reason.
Would you be worried if someone did hear it?
No. But it's just kind of like, if I'm listening to like
something embarrassing or.
No, I'm always throwing on good jams. But like if I'm listening to like a film score and like, the like the TIE Fighter attack song from Star Wars comes on, people are like, what are you like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Why are you listening to that? And then I toss them out of an open window.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm sure that went well. I always used to have a problem with that. Like, oh, God, what if these people hear, like, this weird song that I have on? But then I remembered, like, if you're walking outside and that person hears it, say they do, they're gone in 10 seconds from your life and your world as you know it. So, like, does it matter? No.
Like, and I'd rather be listening to Video Killed the Radio Star by the Buggles rather than, like, Young Thug or whatever these kids are listening to these days.
No, those kids.
Yeah.
Those kids. Well, for the uninitiated, each and every week here on Creatively Challenged, we talk entertainment news, do a recurring segment, review a movie, and discuss random topics that we bring to this bar at the moment. We're at a bar in my basement.
Yeah. Do we have an estimate on this bar?
God, I mean, it's well made.
Yeah.
It's false granite, so that's wood. I don't know anything about anything, Dan, but I'm gonna give a quote here at $60,000 roughly. $60,000 to like maybe a quarter million. That's
Yeah.
my range here. What do you think?
I think it's more than that.
Oh, I really was playing it low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what's our news story here? What's our first story? You got this.
Well, Chris Evans, otherwise known as Captain America, was in an interview the other day, and he says that he's officially done with the Avengers after Avengers 4. Now, the big speculation heading into the first Avengers Infinity War movie, headed into next month, which it comes out like April 20 something.
Yeah,
And
27th.
yeah, and the big thing that's on everybody's mind is like who's gonna die in that film, and everybody kind of predicts Captain America, because for the longest time now, Chris Evans has had like contract disputes and whatnot of like when he's gonna be done, and he's always been predicted as the first Avenger to die, whether that happens. But in this interview, he says he's done with the Avengers after Avengers 4. Is this Chris Evans confirming, like, accidentally that he's not going to die in this Avengers film, or do you think it's a throw-off to try and think that he's going to make it out of this film?
So he was contracted originally when he first was contracted to do Captain America. He was contracted for 6 movies, and this movie coming out, Infinity War Part 1, is the 6th movie. And in this interview, he was specifically like clarifying what was going on, and so was a spokesperson. And so he's doing Part 2 of Infinity War just because from a narrative sense, it helps them out. So he's just being a nice guy. So that means he doesn't have to do any of the others. So maybe they could convince him if they really wanted to, or he is in fact dying. But I think that someone should be dying in this movie. Like that, a lot of people complain about the stakes in Marvel movies that like no one ever like really gets killed.
Yeah, and
that
how
is a hero.
overcooked they are.
Yeah. And so I hope that this happens in a weird kind of dark way.
What,
I hope
that he dies?
Yeah. It could be a really big thing for them.
I want it to be sad.
Mm-hmm.
But, like...
You're going to miss him?
Yeah.
He was very good at it, but like we got a lot of movies with him.
Because it turns out, like, the best individual films of any superhero so far has been Cap. And Chris Evans does a great job as him. But, like, you know, if he does... his death is kind of inevitable. So, like... You know, it's either in this Avengers Infinity War or it's in the next one. So, you know, it kind of doesn't matter if this is the last one he's doing or the next one is the last one he's doing. So, because clearly he doesn't have another solo film coming out. So, you know, it's now or then. So it doesn't matter really. So we all kind of know what's coming, except we don't. We don't know what's coming. We don't know what's going to happen.
It's going to be crazy, apparently. And you know more than me because I haven't seen the trailers.
Yeah, but trailers have been like, oh, here's all the heroes that are going to be in it.
Oh.
They're not really, like, plot heavy.
That's kind of good.
Yeah, definitely. Mike and I were talking about that. But you can only make guesses at this point. But it's good that I can't, like, have a clear... I mean, main plot is Thanos is trying to get the Infinity Stones. Everybody knows that. But, you know, I mean, the specifics of it, you can't really make a guess on. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens in April, but Captain America, as predicted by many, is probably going to die in this next one, regardless of what Chris Evans is saying about it, Avengers 4.
Yeah. And historically, there have been like 4 or 5 different people who've taken the helm of Captain America. So Bucky could be Captain America. Someone else could be Captain America. Doesn't mean that he's over, but like Steve Rogers, as we know it, could be gone.
Yeah. Although, with the end of Black Panther, spoiler alert, kind of, I don't know.
No.
It's been out for a month. You should have seen it by now. It's a phenomenon.
Yeah.
They were calling Bucky the White Wolf, and there's a White Wolf comic where, you know, the White Wolf is a guy.
Bucky might like be doing a different thing, but like somebody could take up the role, but probably not, and I don't want them to, quite honestly. But yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. a trailer dropped for a new movie. It's a comedy called Tag. And the whole premise of the movie is that
This is the rise and fall of the terrible body spray tag. Remember
Oh yeah, I
that?
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Tag body spray. That
I used to have it in grade school.
does it exist?
I don't think it does anymore.
Oh, gross.
Yeah.
Well, the premise of this movie is that a group of friends, they've been friends for like 20 years, and every year in the whole month of May, they have a game of tag. And the friend that is played by Jeremy Renner has never ever been tagged in his life. He's very good. He's got skills like a secret agent apparently from the trailer. It looked like I don't know what he does for a living, but the cast is really what sells me on this premise because it has Annabelle Wallis, Jeremy Renner, John Hamm, Rashida Jones, Ed Helms, Hannibal Buress, and Jake Johnson as all the friends, and it just looks like a fun, like kind of action comedy movie. And just like such a simple premise, like they're just playing a game of tag.
Yeah.
And I'm in for this.
Yeah.
What do you think of the trailer?
It kind of looks like a Horrible Bosses type of movie.
Mm.
You know, like it looks like it's gonna be like a fun, like kind of B-movie comedy, which is good. But I mean, the cast looks awesome, and they kind of like put me into this film because like you say like, oh, this is a movie about friends who played tag for 30 years. It's like, what are they, dumb? You know, it's like they're adults. They have real incomes and real problems that they should probably not be playing tag.
Maybe they're gonna realize that.
But yeah, maybe that's just the whole plot of the film.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like it does look interesting because I saw it. I read the premise before I watched the trailer, and I was just like, oh, that looks dumb. But then I watched the trailer, and I'm like, this looks fun. This looks like a lot of fun, and the cast with it will really help it out. And Hannibal Buress is funny. Like. Like when he showed up in the trailer, I was just kind of like, all right, you get some dry humor out of him.
Yeah.
So.
They were going like, everyone synchronize your watches, and Hannibal just goes, time is a construct. But it's directed by this guy named Jeff Tomsic, who has directed a million different comedy specials and a few bit parts on a few comedy shows on Comedy Central. So he knows how to direct comedy, so at least we're not going to see some clunky jokes or anything. So this could be a rock solid movie.
Yeah,
Time will
and
tell.
Ed Helms is in this.
Do you like Ed Helms?
Well, his track record after the Hangover films has kind of been not good. Did you see the new Vacation?
No.
It was bad.
Yeah, I bet.
It was.
It didn't look too good.
It was really bad. And then what was a quarrel I had with Ed Helms a couple weeks ago where like I didn't want to hear him or like see him.
I don't remember that. I probably wasn't at the apartment.
It was just like I didn't like they're doing some sort of like movie or like animated movie, and I'm just like I don't want to see like Ed Helms as whatever.
It might have been the Lorax, but he plays like a kid or something in that.
No,
I don't think.
No. It's like
I wasn't
like,
here for this. I can't
if
help
they-
you.
If they were, it was on the show.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well,
If you know what I'm talking about, reference the episode in our comments because I definitely ripped on Ed Helms for something.
okay.
Couple weeks ago. I don't know.
If you want to know what Dan's talking about, like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Smash that like button. What's our next piece of
Me
news?
try and figure it out every week. All right. Well, earlier this week, a new Deadpool 2 trailer, now officially titled DP2, I guess, from the end of the trailer, was dropped by Ryan Reynolds on Twitter. And just more of the same with this trailer. It gives a little bit more of the plot, but I am just so excited for this film. It looks awesome. We got more of the that cab driver. What's his name? Dopender.
I think it is. Yeah.
And we get some more motive behind like the X-Force and what Deadpool is doing to kind of recruit them, and they kind of make it seem like Cable is going to be a villain, but
Yeah.
I don't think so. Unless he is, I don't know.
He might be for like a time being until they maybe find like a common enemy, as they do in superhero movies. But it looks like he has to mobilize what they call the X-Force, which is a bunch of like mutants, like X-Men characters, to maybe fight Cable because Deadpool's gonna get destroyed by him. But this trailer revealed people that are in the X-Force because it was just on the billings for this movie that Bill Skarsgård, Shioli Kutsana, and Terry Crews are just in this movie, but no one knew what.
Yeah.
And it was just like rumored, what are they? So it looks like now they're just in the X-Force. Bill Skarsgård just is in this like X-Jet, just sitting there with his weird face.
And Negasonic is back. We knew Domino was in this film, and Terry Crews is just a black guy.
Well, he's apparently some guy named Bedlam. He's not just a black guy. He's got powers and stuff. But
that's good.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he could have just been a guy.
Yeah,
that's fine.
X-Force is diverse.
Yeah.
But what else as well? Oh, the chick who plays his girlfriend is in the trailer as well, and
she is. I don't know her name.
Yeah.
But she's in it. So
yeah, she's pretty.
Yeah, they had a fun relationship in that movie.
Yeah, their relationship was very cute in the first one. It felt very natural too, unlike a lot of, and especially being a superhero movie to like not take away from a superhero plot and then have like the relationship in it. The first Deadpool was awesome. So
it was lovely.
You know, this one looks like it's going to be great as well, and I'm very excited for it. But you know. We'll see what happens because, like we say now every week, as it is trailer season, good trailer doesn't mean good movie. So we'll see what happens. But
it'd be terrible if it was a stinker.
Yeah, but I don't know if it will be. There will be at least some laughs to where like it could get at least like 3.5 Goldblums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and if this movie takes the traditional trailer route, this should be the last one aside from TV spots until it releases.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Mm-hmm.
We've gotten a few Deadpool trailers. They've all been fun. So
yeah,
let's just go see the movie. We'll see.
Oh, to kind of reference the last Deadpool 2 trailer, they made a joke about how they didn't animate Cable's arm, and Deadpool made a joke about it's not like you're CGIing off a mustache.
Oh yeah.
Henry Cavill posted on Instagram the other day that he shaved his mustache and he made this like tribute video with the song like "I will remember you," all about his mustache, and he like posted pictures and videos of it. It was really funny.
He's actually pretty funny on social media.
Yeah, he's British too. You always forget about that, but
you do.
He totally is.
So handsome.
Yeah, he's Superman.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Well, that's our news.
Yeah.
Dan, what's our next segment?
These recurring segments
Jesus
just
Christ.
keep on. It is very early on Sunday morning, and I'll tell you what, this joke.
I'm not ready for it.
This joke is something that I hate myself for already, but this early in the morning is really not helping. But these recurring segments they just keep on boomeranging back like some sort of boomerang or boomeranging device, and
There's only one.
and believe it or not, we're doing desert islands again, and our desert island subject, which Ryan and I debated for this morning, which we can't share our other list of desert islands, but we decided to come up with our desert island TV channel. So you have to pick one TV channel that you'd only get to watch ever on this desert island. So, Ryan, you can start. What is your desert island TV channel?
Well, one channel I always know I could pick on was the History Channel, but thing is, in like the last 8 years, History Channel has sort of changed. As we all know, it used to be very informative. You got these nice programs about different things like actual history, or you got your Modern Marvels on there where they tell you about lots of interesting things like mega machines that like do digging for large mining operations, or Modern Marvels will tell you about like how they make a canoe or some shit.
Yeah.
Very informative. There are even space documentary things on there. It was a great channel. And then all of a sudden, Pawn Stars was successful. And then from there, you got your American Pickers or your Rick's Restoration. I don't like any of these shows. They're all just formulated bullshit shows where Especially Pawn Stars, because it's always
It
just
got
like,
bad.
yeah,
Like
it's the same thing.
because it kind of became popular when we were in grade school,
Hmm.
and then I kind of like took a break from it in high school, and I think it was over like Thanksgiving or Christmas break. Like I was kind of stuck on History Channel, and I watched Pawn Stars, and then I watched American Pickers. I'm like, wow, this is so poorly scripted and
Hmm.
terrible. I just hate myself.
And they have to like pre-screen the objects, I think, because every episode it's just like, I found this old flintlock pistol in my garage, and
Yeah.
then I think it might be worth something because it's old. And he's like, and then Rick's just like, I don't know anything about stuff, so I'm gonna call in my guy who knows some stuff. And then the guy who knows some stuff comes in. He's like, oh yeah, it's worth $25,000. And then the guy says, I want $25,000 for this. And then Rick
And
goes,
Rick's
I'll
like,
give you eight
"Oh,
grand.
I don't know about that.
Yeah,
Like
$5.
trying to run a business here. Best I could do is like $5 for you.
And then the old man with the droopy face is just like, I
Trauma.
agree. Yeah. And that's every episode, so you never have to watch the show
Yeah,
again.
no.
It's
Why don't you
trash.
just take it to that expert and like get $25,000
Yeah.
out of him? You know, I mean, like he might not be like a collector if he's just an expert, but he'll definitely know other people who are going to pay like full price for something.
Mhm.
It's like I remember this one guy was like had like this antique toy, and the guy who ran a toy store and bought and sold like antique toys was just like, this is worth like $8,000, and Rick wanted to give the guy like $800.
Oh my god.
And I think the guy took it too. So he lost out on like $7,200.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
At that point, if it's like something of value, wouldn't you want to? If you were just gonna get $800, wouldn't you rather just like put it in a museum
Right.
or something instead of selling it to those slimy guys?
Not a lot of Indiana Joneses out there today.
Yeah.
It belongs in a museum.
But History Channel now sucks. So
Yeah, so what is your
my
what is your
channel-
real channel?
because both Discovery and History Channel have sold out like this. They used to be amazing channels, but now they've sold out for ratings.
I used to like
And-
Man versus Wild.
Yeah, that was on there. That was
on-
good.
Yeah, on Discovery.
But they-
It was on Discovery, wasn't
It was.
Yeah.
They've sold out for ratings, and what they did is that now you can go find those good programs on Discovery Channel 2 and History Channel 2, where they have all the good stuff. So I pick History Channel 2 is my channel. So this is a pretty good package if I'm getting those kind of network
Yeah,
channels.
right.
But I pick History Channel 2. What about you,
History Channel 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Dan? Yeah, 2 History 2 channel.
I was thinking about it. It's just like there's some good channels out there.
Yeah.
And this was a big toss up between two. I was thinking TNT
They know
because
drama.
TNT they always have great movies. The thing is you kind of got their shitty TV shows, but they'll play NBA games, and they'll always have great movies on, and that's good. But I'm going TBS because all the time during the day, I mean, there are some hours where like Reba will be on, but like you get American Dad, Family Guy, Seinfeld, Conan, and then the Star Wars movies get played on TBS. And well, TBS is also owned by Turner, so whatever movies are on TNT can show up on TBS as well. So you can get the Batman movies, you can get the Star Wars movies, and you sometimes you get the National Treasure movies. And those are great. So like you get a lot of access to good movies. You get Seinfeld, Family Guy. Every night you get Conan, and Conan's my favorite late night talk show host. So I think I'm going TBS because they've got a lot of good content on there, and I can deal with some Big Bang Theory and Reba if I have to, because I know just like I can rewatch a bunch of episodes of Family Guy and Seinfeld, and get good movies out of TBS. And during the summer and during the fall, TBS has some like MLB games, so I'd get some some
playoffs.
baseball. Yeah,
That's a really well-rounded channel, then. I didn't even consider that.
yeah.
Nice pick.
Though after some of the movies at night, though, Joel Osteen comes on,
Oh God.
and he's just,
Yeah. Give me some money.
yeah, he's like the Lord Jesus.
Because like he's still okay after that stuff with the hurricane door business. You remember this? Joel Osteen
Yeah.
has this. He had a very, very large church in Texas,
Yeah,
I
in
believe.
Houston.
He didn't open his doors to those that were going to be affected by the hurricane at all. It was just closed, and he got under fire for that after a guy shot a video of it. And I think he's still okay. Joel Osteen still got a private jet and all that.
He sucks.
Yeah. A lot of televangelists seem like they're kind of scummy.
There was this. I fell asleep on the couch on Friday night and like early Saturday morning. It was like 3 a.m. on Saturday, and I woke up because I fell asleep watching TV, and like one of these televangelists were on. He's just like, I want to say this message from Jesus Christ to you, 120 people here in the studio, but then to the millions of people watching me. It's like, dude, I doubt there are millions of people watching you.
No.
The only reason you're on my TV is because I fell asleep watching the thing that was on before you.
That's where they get their ratings.
Yeah. So I accidentally gave that guy money just by watching it. And that's terrible because I don't want him to have money.
And they're just like, if you want to feel the Lord, I need just a few dollars from you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. That's a weird model, isn't it?
And he was talking about like the debt of the United States, and he's just like, no debt stands against the Lord. It's like,
The Chinese economy says otherwise.
like God's not writing off your bills. You
No.
know?
Good pick though.
Yeah.
Because like let's just say you had like a janky old TV and you had to wire the antennas right, then you just get that one channel.
You get TBS and you can get Seinfeld.
Yeah. You still get commercials, but like that's fine. It'll keep you in touch with reality.
Ooh, I was thinking about this though. If you get HBO, can you like be stuck in like this like current climate of HBO?
Yeah. Just right now.
Okay.
Because otherwise I'd be on Good History Channel.
Yeah, because right now on HBO, you get Curb, you get Game of Thrones, you get Westworld. All the Harry Potter movies are currently on HBO. Wonder Woman is on HBO.
That's not bad. And you'd get the like new movies as they come because it is still right now. Time advances, so that's not bad. A premium channel would be a good pick too.
Yeah, FX keeps telling everybody that they've got the movies, but I'll tell you what, HBO's got some pretty good ones too.
FX does have the movies though.
They do.
As far as basic cable goes.
Yeah. Like Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda is a good movie.
It is.
Maybe not the sequels, but is that all we got on this?
I never saw Kung Fu Panda 2 or 3.
I don't think you're missing out. I saw 2.
I know 3 had like his family.
Yeah.
Like there were other pandas.
We didn't need that.
Yeah. I felt like it was inevitable though. Like from the first Kung Fu Panda, it's like it's DreamWorks. They're probably gonna make a sequel out of this.
Yeah.
And they keep talking about how he's like the only panda. Like, they're gonna.
When has a kids movie been wildly successful and not made a sequel? Think about that. I don't know any examples because like a studio, if they see that, they're gonna be like, well, let's keep going. There's not really many, I don't think.
Almost The Incredibles.
Almost. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could have been like the only example. Mm-hmm. But
Ratatouille.
Oh, good point.
Wall-E.
Okay, I'll just shut up then.
No, I mean like it made me think about that, but like, don't think that Pixar is gonna like not try and think of a Wall-E 2 or like a Ratatouille 2 because they're making a Toy Story 4.
Yeah.
And after Toy Story 3, it's like that was supposed to be it,
There's probably a lot of things that determine it too. Like if because like people got the Toy Story toys. I don't know if they made any toys for Ratatouille, but I don't think anyone wants them. And not many people got like Wall-E toys. So maybe that kind of gets involved as well because they want to triple their income if they can.
Wall-E is such a good movie, and I liked it as a kid, but like, a lot of people for whatever reason, like our age, when I bring up Pixar movies, like they don't like Wall-E. But I think they have to watch it again because the thing about Wall-E is it's so smart. Like being a children's animated film,
Hmm.
it has a lot of like social issues in it, and I think like we're on our way to that still. Like we didn't learn from Wall-E,
No, I don't think Wally's going to change the world, but it definitely made us a little aware of it. Some
right?
people,
Yeah.
right? But we don't have any power, so we can't change anything.
No. Except these kids, I'm proud of the kids. There was a big walk yesterday, a walkout, and a lot like across the nation of kids and Paul McCartney, and Dennis Rodman and Demi Lovato and
They were there.
yeah,
Oh, I didn't know about that.
yeah, and a bunch of kids and teachers and whatnot doing a walk to their like local town halls about guns and schools and whatnot. So that's cool.
It's good to get the conversation going.
Yeah.
Well, is that all we have on Desert Island TV channels?
Yeah. So if you have a desert island TV channel of your choice, or if you were stuck on a desert island and you magically had a television that you could put wires on, what channel would you pick? And let us know why, and let us know what's the reason for that channel, because that'd be cool. And subscribe, unsubscribe, and resubscribe. We're 5-star men. Give us a 5-star review and let us know in the comments of your review your Desert Island TV channel. But now
We saw a movie I saw a movie
you
this
saw
week.
a movie.
I
I didn't see a movie because I was sick, and Ryan and Mike went to see a movie, and Mike isn't here, so Ryan's going to review a movie by himself, and I'm going to kind of chime in with
Yeah.
questions about the film. So, Ryan, this is all you here.
I saw a movie this week. I saw Pacific Rim Uprising. That's a sequel of obviously Pacific Rim, the Guillermo del Toro movie. Jake Pentecost, the son of Stacker Pentecost, who is Idris Elba's character in the original movie, has to lead a new generation of Jaeger pilots against a new kaiju threat. So Jaegers are the mechs, kaiju are the monsters. Very simple, right? It stars John Boyega, Scott Eastwood, and Charlie Day, as well as a new child actress. I don't think she's been in anything else, named Kaylee Spaney, who I kind of liked in this movie. They just wrote her very bad, but I'm going to get into that. For the positives, I thought it was some fun, well-made action. Even the first movie, like, they were very dynamic, cool robot fights. Like, that's really why these movies are probably doing anything, is because, like, it's cool. Everyone wants to see a big monster fight.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the events of the first movie actually had some fallout in the world of Pacific Rim. Like, things that happened didn't just happen and then they forgot about it to make the sequel. Like, you can see the echoes of the previous film in this. There's previous character mentions, things like that.
That's good that made sense. Because I know in sequel, in like Independence Day 2, like that was stupid because it was just like, oh, we knew they were gonna come back. It's like, did you really?
Yeah.
Like,
This was very realistic in that sense then,
Good.
considering
Yeah.
how that went. But that is all. It's recognized the previous film, and there were good fights. And I'm gonna get into the cons now.
yeah,
There was a lot of cringy humor in this movie. I think many films now try to be like Marvel, and when they make an action movie, they want to pepper in some nice jokes. This movie has some weird tone jokes. There's points in the film where John Boyega's character is talking about how handsome he is to his 15-year-old co-star. He's just like, I look like a god. It's not easy being this handsome. And it's just like weird because he's addressing it to her. Or he'll talk about how handsome Scott Eastwood's character is like a few times and it just never lands. He's just like, he'll just say, yeah, he's just so sexy. And then we're just like, what? It was just left out there. He just kind of spit it out there, and then out of the 8 people in the theater, one guy was like, yeah. He was like laughing. Charlie Day's character reprised his role, and Charlie Day has a very weird use in this movie that I can't say without getting into spoiler territory. But I thought the moment they revealed his use in this movie, I was completely checked out from the movie. I thought they were going to take it one way, which would have been incredibly smart, but instead they took it just blindsides you what they did with Charlie Day, and it completely took me out of the movie.
What about that weird looking guy from The Dark Knight Rises?
The British guy,
Yeah.
he's in this too, still great. Does the same thing of just genius British guy who comes up with research revelations as the plot continues that aid the plot. He does great, right? But the main the main reason this movie doesn't work is due to its insane amount of characters. They introduce so many throughout the film that no one gets to have enough time to really go anywhere with their characters. So everyone just becomes regular character archetypes.
Yeah.
So the notable scene where this happens is the 15-year-old character who's co-stars with John Boyega, Kaylee Spaney. Her character goes into the barracks of the Jaeger program. And all these young pilots are in there, like playing cards or doing sit-ups. And she meets the character archetype of the tough character who doesn't like her new skills, and she doesn't like how she's new, so she'll like talk shit on her. We've all seen this movie. Yeah. And then that tough girl then earns some respect for the new skilled girl as the plot continues and they develop a bond. That kind of stuff happens, you know? Many characters fall into these archetypes in the movie, and it's just ridiculous because they could have spent this time, you know, maybe working on Kaylee Spaney's character because she just advanced the plot through being like smart with technology. That was about it. Like she knew like little things about how Jaegers work so they could fix a problem. And yeah, the moment they lay down the plot groundwork, everything is dropped and it just becomes a monster fighting movie.
Which, at the end of the day, I mean, like, as long as those are entertaining, the people who made the movie will say, like, that's a success.
Yeah.
You know, people paid to go see it, and it's a monster fighting movie.
This can do super well overseas. This still could. So maybe they'll make another, because they sort of do leave a cliffhanger.
Do they?
Like they might. So, who knows? But I'm going to give Pacific Rim Uprising a 2.
Did Mike have a score for it?
He didn't give me one. So as of right now, it's a 2, but we might have an average for it on our Facebook.
Yeah.
I think he said he was going to put it at 2.
You know, when I first saw the trailer for this film, I'm just like, that looks dumb.
It was. It was.
And I like movies with like the like the titles like Uprising, like the rise of whatever.
There's so many of those.
You know, like those are always dumb. Like there's this new TV show on Nickelodeon. It's called The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it's like the Ninja Turtles are on crack, and like they're all different sizes.
What?
Yeah, like Raphael is like a big fat guy, like, and like Donatello is like a little skinny like soft shell turtle nerd, and like Leo and Michelangelo are just weird looking. Like they're all. It looks so weird.
Are they different turtles?
Yeah, that's like what they're going for. Like,
I kind of
they're
like
all like
that.
different like species of turtles.
Oh, I'm kind of in for that.
Yeah, but it looks stupid.
Oh well, you'll have some stickers out there that'll last this season.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's our review then. You want to get into the main topic?
Of Atlantic Rim.
Yeah.
Downsizing.
Maybe this time they're gonna go to the Atlantic Ocean instead of the Pacific.
Were they in the Pacific Ocean the whole time?
I guess they were near it. They go to Japan.
So
that's the Pacific Ocean.
And they just destroyed Japan rather than like Hawaii or wherever they were in the first one.
Yeah, and of course, there's like no mention of collateral damage or casualties when they fight in the big cities. But that's what you get with a big blockbuster like this. So I'm not going to nitpick on that.
That was one thing I really liked about Batman v Superman. Like I like how they made like the plot hole in Man of Steel like part of the plot in Batman v Superman. Like how everybody's problem with Man of Steel was that how awfully destructive like Superman's fight was with General Zod, and it destroyed Metropolis like very bad, and then they made that a plot point in Batman v Superman, and I really like that because they talk about how horrible the destruction was, and they turned it into like a 9/11 2, where
Hmm.
like so many people died, and they reflect on it like a horrible day in history, and then. But then Doomsday comes in at the end of the film
Yeah.
and like destroys a lot of city and whatnot. But then they go to the Stryker Island or whatever it is, and they fight on there to kind of give less collateral damage. But like,
Yeah. And the moment Superman was going to have answers for his actions, he just stood there and looked mad like he
yeah,
always does in those movies, and then a bomb went off. So that was that.
hmm
But that's the plot synopsis of Batman versus Superman.
yeah, kinda.
Is that all we have on this then? I give Pacific Rim Uprising a 2.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Don't see it.
So my score is invalid, but I'll give it a 2.
Thanks. That's an average of 2.
Yeah.
For our main topic this week, I was putting our news together, and I found a piece of news that I was kind of ignited by, and I decided to make it the discussion topic this week because there's a lot to unpack with
Yeah.
this. Steven Spielberg was recently in an interview, and he criticized Netflix movies, calling them like TV movies. I'm going to read the statement he said on it. A lot of studios today would rather just make branded, tentpole, guaranteed box office hits from their inventory of branded successful movies than take chances on smaller films. Now, those smaller films that studios used to routinely make are now going to Amazon, Hulu, and Netflix. Television is really thriving with quality and art, but it poses a clear and present danger to film goers. So, there's some sentiment to his statement in that some studios aren't
Yeah.
taking chances. But these are my rebuttal to that is that those are like the big studios. Like Fox won't usually take as many chances on
Yeah.
movies, but you have bigger indie studios like A24. As notably, they make some of the better movies that are indie movies. Like they made Lady Bird. They have comedian Bo Burnham's upcoming movie called Eighth Grade that
hmm
looks really good. It's not out yet, but
What's that? What's that little studio company with like the little bird?
that's not enough
You
information.
know, the
I
one
don't
where
know.
it's like an illustrated bird and it like
I know what you're talking about.
yeah, like you can see the logo in your head, right?
Indie movie studios.
But let me talk about this.
Yeah, talk about it.
He looks up my idiocy. Um, I saw this as well, and I'm glad we're using this as a discussion topic rather than a news topic. But like, the part that I agree with him on is that like he says it poses a clear and present danger to film goers, and we've talked about I think on this podcast before, but it's definitely a topic of conversation all over the world, is how movie theaters and films are kind of going to survive in the future with the rise of Amazon and Hulu and Netflix and all
Hmm.
these streaming services that are going to have, original content, including films now that clearly can get nominated for Oscars and other awards. So they're legitimate. And, I do see, like a total shift could be coming of where like, you know, a huge thing. I think it's called Crossfire, actually.
Let me try.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
There could be a huge shift coming forward where films directors, regardless of how big they are, studios even going to Netflix and Amazon. It's not.
Forget about it.
No, I can't though. Now I'm pissed off. There's also that company that makes the Planet of the Apes movies called like CE.
They're a bigger studio, but they do like smaller ones too.
Yeah.
But you were saying, sorry.
Yeah, well, like I could definitely see the threat that Netflix, Hulu poses, but it's to disagree with Mr. Spellberger's on the rest of his comment. This is exactly how he started his career.
Ah,
Back in the 70s, there wasn't Netflix or Hulu, but he was in the rise of independent film,
yeah.
and he was in the rise of directors. And so the thing that makes me angry is that he's not supportive of like the new wave of stuff. when he and Francis Ford Coppola and Martin Scorsese and George Lucas all came out of this era where they were all young. They came out of film school and they dominated Hollywood for the next 20 years. And I'm kind of upset that Spielberg isn't supporting like the new wave of that. I respect that he's worried for film and theaters and whatnot, but like on the other hand, he's not supporting directors and all of the available modes in which they can become successful.
Hmm.
When back in the day he became famous because he was doing it kind of an off-branded way.
He seems like he's resistant to the change in new media, and
Yeah.
that seems to be a theme like with a lot of entertainment. Like Christopher Nolan said the same thing about Netflix movies. Like they're not the same. Like there's something to seeing something in film, and he's got a point. But like so much more things get to be made because of Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon. Like maybe there can be a common ground found. Like Amazon produced Manchester by the Sea, that had a theatrical release that won Oscars. Maybe that could be a middle ground we can settle on. But I don't see an issue with it releasing on
No.
Netflix and not being good. Even the director of Pacific Rim Uprising, Stephen DeKnight, he started producing on Spartacus on Showtime, and then, or is it Stars? One of those. I think
Yeah.
it's Showtime. And then he directed episodes of Daredevil. And now he has a new movie that like you work up. It's the same thing they had to do, but this is just they get to start directing, you know?
Was Mudbound Netflix's first nominated film?
I no, they had it might be actually. They had like ones that got awards at film festivals like Okja
Yeah.
that won stuff, but you might be right on that. That might be the first they had.
Well, even if it is, like, I mean, the the thing is like, all these streaming services, yes, they're television streaming services. So, you look at Netflix and Hulu's original content, and a lot of their, you know, renowned stuff is TV
Hmm.
and the shows that they have. And I think Spielberg is kind of looking at it in that way still. Like they're just TV companies. Like they're not film people. But I think within the next couple of years, I mean, Manchester by the Sea winning what it did was a huge step forward for
Hmm.
Amazon Studios, and I think that shift is coming. So regardless of what Steven Spielberg and Christopher Nolan have to say about it, it's coming,
Yeah.
But there's still a lot of room too for the streaming service companies like Netflix and Amazon. Like they still kind of do have to prove themselves with the films. I mean, they've had a few successes with Manchester by the Sea and Mudbound and Okja. Like, they have to they've had a few successes, but until there's like more than one of them in one category, like in award season or whatever, I feel like it's still just kind of like minimal. But back to Spielberg's comment, it does pose a threat because they're coming.
Yeah.
And I think that's the plan going forward is to have a lot more. I mean, we're still in 2018, obviously, and Netflix has like some ridiculous number of original shows or movies coming out
This
this
is a
year.
big year.
Yeah, so we'll see going forward in this year what Netflix can do, and maybe they will be around award season next year with their original content.
Do you think they deserve awards in like say Oscars if they have a movie that's that good?
Well, here's the thing. After this Oscars, I've completely changed my viewpoint on award shows and thinking about the history of things that haven't won. I guess maybe I shouldn't take the Oscars for like the epitome of film
Mm.
greatness. But so at the end of the day, like I guess Oscars don't matter. But like if they're the best movies, then yeah, they deserve a nomination. They shouldn't not get nominated just because they're from a TV like studio company.
Yeah, and like how is that any different than if you got money from like Fox to make your movie.
Yeah.
If Netflix bought it, like it's just someone paying to make your movie, and who's to say like if it goes on any different medium, it's still a movie even if it's on Netflix.
Right.
It doesn't have to be on the silver screen per se.
So like Spielberg's films shouldn't have won Oscars because they were independent films or whatever. So that's the argument there. That's where his comment becomes. And that's what I'm disappointed in. Like I said, that's how he got a start, and all the great directors that we know, like, got their start is because they were kind of doing their own thing, and now that somebody else is doing their own thing, he's like, oh, I don't like it.
Yeah. The way we advance in anything and, like, get better is that, like, people find a way to do it themselves. That's how he did it. And so now that people are finding a way to do it themselves in a different way, he's not open to it. So this is a weird stance to take, but it makes sense.
That's how film is going to have to go forward. I mean, look at all the adapting and changing times. I mean, film has changed with, like, society almost. I mean, there are people who are going to make films that are callbacks to, like, John Ford Westerns or something like that, but relatively the way the film is made is different, and technology changes and everything like that. Hollywood adapts and moves on, and the filmmaking process adapts and moves on, and every single era is different. And we're in transition mode here again. We have the internet and we have these streaming services, and they're making great original content, and that's not just limited to TV shows. So, it's not like these companies are asking Steven Spielberg to move the hell out of the way.
No.
I think his comment was kind of, uncalled for almost.
I agree. He's wrong, Dan.
Yeah.
Is that all you have on this, though?
I mean, I feel like I could talk all day about, why I think that, Netflix and Amazon and Hulu should have all this stuff. Wasn't Kobe Bryant's Dear Basketball, wasn't that, like, Amazon produced as well?
Let's see.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't find that to be a lot of searching, but it might have been.
Yeah. But yeah, they're coming.
They are. It's the new times.
And if you're Steven Spielberg or Christopher Nolan, who are two of my favorite directors, and I mean, just keep doing your thing, but don't blame other people for doing something different.
Yeah, it's like they gotta get
finding
out.
success.
Yeah,
it's kind of bullshit.
It is. All right, and that is this week's podcast. Remember that each and every Monday morning we upload to YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes. Give us a follow on Facebook and Twitter to keep up with what we're putting out there each week. Any final thoughts, Dan?
Yeah, that was kind of a fly-through podcast. We flew through. But I guess that happens when only one of us sees the movie.
Yeah.
And,
And there's two people.
Yeah.
So it'll be a little lighter.
Yeah.
But
we had fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was a really important thing for us to talk about, too.
Yeah, definitely. I want to hear Mike's opinion, like, off show.
Absolutely.
Or maybe we can bring it up next week.
We will. Yeah, we'll talk to him.
Yeah.
All right. And as always, what do you think about the next week's movie?
Yeah, I do want to get out and see Isle of Dogs if I can at some point this week. But next week's movie is Ready Player One. And I've been looking forward to this. Steven Spielberg.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's give him a 1.
Yeah.
Let's fuck that guy.
But this movie has been highly anticipated for a while. I'm very excited to see this film. So
it looks like a spectacle. I would like to see it in IMAX, and I would recommend to our audience, if you could see it in IMAX.
Yeah. So that's going to happen. And
all right.
Ryan said to, comment and subscribe and
that'd be cute if you could subscribe.
But yeah, comment, and we're 5-star men, so give us 5 stars, and we love you, and come back next week, and bye.
What if God was one of us? Just a slob like one of us.